Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a vlog video. This is gonna go up on my vlog channel. I'll leave like a link down below. And I recently, back in August, went to New York. I flew to New York and it was an awesome trip. It was an awesome experience. Did a lot of shopping, but I've come to the conclusion that I hate flying. Yeah. It was so traumatic that on the plane, my skin broke out. I just got so worked up, so nervous. I hated it. And just the motion and the sensation, I guess, of lifting off the ground, and the fact that I was 36,000 feet in the air and I had no control over it, really bothered me. I had like one of those like pink neck pillows. I'll actually get it to show you guys. So I had one of these, but yeah, and I was squeezing this on the plane because I was so afraid. And just after 9/11, like because it was in New York, and it just freaked me out. And I like want to go places and I want to travel, but you have to fly. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to like Florida, like you can drive, I want to go to California and you can drive, but it's just so long and I don't have the patience to drive. So my only option is flying. I don't know if anyone else has this fear. I bet you a lot of people do. I'm not the only one. I'm going to be playing with this. But as silly as it sounds, like I just got so worked up. Like I wasn't afraid until I sat down on the plane and started moving. And it was going very fast down the runway. And obviously I know they have to get off the ground. They're big planes. They have to go into the air and hit altitude and stuff. But like we left out of Buffalo. Our plane left at 8:10. I flew JetBlue. And we were on like the Airbus. It was like we were stopped and then we flew. He took off down the runway. And it went very, very fast, obviously, and I understand that, but I don't know, I didn't like the motion and the sensation. And the second the plane started to lift off the ground, and I looked like the idiot because I was like freaking out. Like I didn't have a breakdown. I just was sitting there like very afraid and very scared. And the flight attendants were going along serving people food and drinks and stuff. Like the flight was an hour and 10 minutes, which obviously isn't that bad. And like going over to Europe, like that's a 6 to 8 hour flight, or if like more or less. Became anxiety. Like I don't know what came over me. Like I thought I'd be fine on it, and I'd watch plane videos on YouTube, which I probably shouldn't. And the night before, me and my sister and my mom, we stayed at the Buffalo like the hotel across from the Buffalo airport, just to catch our flight early the next morning. And me and my sister, we sat and we watched like planes take off for like an hour. And I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem. And I didn't really get nervous until like I went down the tunnel, sat down in my seat, right on the wing. Worst experience ever, because you can feel everything. Because you're not at the back and you're not at the front, you're in the middle, so you feel everything going up. And it was quite the experience. Quick note, on the way home I had this and I was squeezing it so hard all the way home. Like my wrists were tense, my arms were all, and I looked like an idiot. But the plane takes off and we're going up in the air, and it felt like we went straight up. Like we were sitting way back in our seats, and I was like, oh my god, like this is not right. But I guess it was. I mean, everything was fine. It turns out like no one else freaking out. People were like talking amongst themselves, and me and my sister were sitting there, and I was freaking out, and she was loving it. Went up and felt like we were going straight up, and I could feel like the wings tipping because we were sitting on the wing, and my sister was sitting in the window seat, and then there's me and then my mom. So we went straight up, and like once we got up to altitude, we kind of leveled out and stuff. But going up, we hit turbulence right away. Right away. It was ridiculous. Like the plane started to shake, and I thought I was gonna die. Like there was no way around it, I guess. I don't know, but we kept climbing to altitude, and then once we were up and we were flying, and like nothing, I couldn't really feel anything, like the plane moving or whatever. I was fine. I could sit and watch the TV and the screen in front of me, listen to music, whatever. But the second like we tipped or something, I lost it. Like I was like grabbing my seat handles, and I actually, you know where you have your seat handle right there, and you plug your headphones in to watch the TV in the seat in front, like in front of you. I grabbed it and I actually cranked up the volume, so I had to rip my headphones out because it was just so loud, because like I was gripping it as we hit turbulence and we were going up and down and whatever. But I mean, I guess it was fine, nothing went wrong, but it was just a scary experience for me. And I didn't really like it. Like, I do want to go. We're already booking another trip to go next year, next summer, or September, or October. I do want to go to California. We are supposed to be going to California too. I don't know. I will have to like drink a ton of vodka at the airport. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, but I want to travel. I want to go places. I didn't think flying was that bad. I know I'm not the only one with this fear. If any of you guys have the same thing, you know, like comment, let me know, you know, like talk to each other. I don't even know why I'm putting this on YouTube, but I'm going to. And so like going up, I hated. Descending was fine because you can't really feel anything. It took about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to descend, and that was fine. Like once we touched down, the landing was really smooth, and then we were gliding along the runway, and then like he put on the brakes and you could feel it kind of stopping, and I was like, oh my god, I'm at JFK. I made it finally. So yeah, like I was just so happy when we touched down, like in JFK from Buffalo, because I'm in New York. I don't want to go home. I don't want to leave. I don't want to fly again. I actually considered taking the train home, which is kind of ridiculous, but I ended up flying home because my ticket was already paid for and booked. So, my pillow. So yeah, it was quite the traumatic experience for me, and I really didn't get like nervous again until the day before I had to fly home. I knew I had to get on the plane again, and I really didn't want to. But like a trooper, I packed up my stuff the next day, and the next morning really early. At the hotel, we stayed right in Times Square at the Marriott Marquis. Fantastic hotel. We saw Snoop Dogg. We actually flew home from JFK to Buffalo with, I'll insert her name right here, one of the actors from Law & Order Criminal Intent. I can't think of her name right now, but I'll leave it right here. And Snoop Dogg was at our hotel, the Marriott Marquis. And I'm rambling now. But anyways, going home, we got to the airport really early, and I could just sit there and stew about it. And I hated that. I didn't want to sit there and watch planes take off for like 2 hours to wait for our plane. But I had to. I just wanted to curl up in a ball on the benches at my gate and cry. But anyways, it was not really good. Not really good for my brain to sit there and rack my brain about it. So I got ready, and that morning that we had to fly out, and got to the airport, checked in. We had to sit and wait for a while, so I went. And then once they said it was time to board, I started panicking. Like I literally just got so tight in my chest. Like I really didn't want to do it. I guess I kind of already mentally talked myself out of it, but I knew I had to do it, so I didn't know any other way around it other than to get on the damn plane and fly home. So in the end, I did, and taking off this time wasn't that bad. I was like, oh, this is smooth. You know what? My first time on the plane coming here, you know, it was just my first time, and it's really not that bad because going up was perfectly fine. It was a smaller plane too. It was a 2-seater aisle, and then 2-seater had like 100 seats. It was JetBlue again. It was their Embraer 190 or whatever. I don't know. I'll link a video like here or something. My sister filmed out the window. I looked away. I couldn't handle it looking out. There was a couple times I did, and it was fine. But the second I felt the motion of the wings tip, my balance and everything would be thrown off. Like I don't know whether it was my equilibrium or whatever you want to call it, but I was just mentally fucked. Like sorry to say that, but I was. But anyways, so I listed, once we got up and we're flying again, they said they'd have us down before our scheduled time, which was awesome. And then I was sitting there. Someone's banging next door or whatever. And I then just got so worked up, I wanted to get on the ground. I knew we were 36,000 feet in the air, and I'd had enough. I had completely had enough. Just like it got the best of me. I couldn't handle it anymore, and I wanted to get off, but we were 37 feet in the air, and we couldn't, obviously. So I continued watching TV. I was just trying to sit and talk to my sister and just keep my mind off flying, but I knew I was on a plane and I couldn't do anything about it. So it was fine. This time, going up was fine. Descending was horrible. They said, okay, put your seatbelt back on. We're going to start to descend. It's going to take about 20 minutes. I was like, okay, like this will be fine. And we're going, like, you could feel us going down kind of. And then all of a sudden the plane, like one wing drops on the other side. You could really feel it. And I was like, oh my God, like this is not supposed to happen. And people were like they gasped in the front of the plane because we were sitting on the wing again, which I hated, or right in front of it. It was just so scary. So we started to, like, we were dropping pretty fast, it felt like. Whether we actually were or not, I don't know, but I didn't like it again. Like, I was like, this is it. I've had it. I'm not doing it again. And I looked at my mom. I'm like, I'm not flying again. Like, you guys can go to New York. I will take the train, and I will meet you there. But, so we're going down, and JFK's runway is very long, obviously, because they have big, like, international flights going under there. Buffalo's is very short. Like, their runway is ridiculous. So we touched down. It was a soft landing again. It wasn't that bad. You couldn't really feel it. And then the nose, like, touched down, and he was going very fast on the runway. And then he threw on the brakes, and we all, like, went, like, forward or whatever. And he was really trying to get that plane stopped because I don't know if he didn't realize that the runway wasn't that big, but it was kind of scary. He had to get that plane stopped, and we were like, you could feel your seatbelts tighten because he was going so fast, and he threw on that brake. Thank God he did, or we would run out of runway. But anyways, we eventually, like, came to a stop, obviously. Taxied to our gate, and then once they opened the door and they said you can get up, I took my seatbelt off, got up. I didn't have anything in the overhead bins. I grabbed my purse from below, my pillow. I was down that, and everyone was fidgeting, and I was, like, weaving my way through the airplane, and I was off that damn plane, down that tunnel, flew into Buffalo, and I was like, I'm done. I've had it. I'm not doing this again. And it was a scary experience for me. Whether I just worked myself up over it, I don't know. But it was just so nerve-wracking. Like, having no control, that I wasn't on the ground, on solid ground, like this. Yes. And I don't know. It freaked me out. So I'm really going to have to consider next time I want to fly. Like, my friends want to go to Europe and stuff, and I want to go with them. But this whole flying thing, like, I don't know. I actually I watched an episode of Married to Jonas last night where they went to Italy, or I was catching up on episodes where they went and came home from Italy or whatever with Danielle Jonas, Married to Jonas, and Kevin Jonas or whatever. And Danielle's mom has the same fear I do. I completely get what she's talking about. I have no hard feelings for her. Like, I don't know. I can relate to her fear of flying. She went to Europe. She did it. I don't know when. Maybe in 5 years. I don't know. But I want to go to California, Europe, Vancouver, been to New York, Florida, all over Europe, London, England, Italy, France, Germany, Belgium, I don't know, all those places. Just to experience life. Like, just to experience the world. You know, what's out there. There's more out there than my little city. Like, I live in a small town in Ontario, Canada, and I hate it. It's boring. I don't want to get out there and experience the world. But you have to fly. So, but yeah. So, I just want to let you guys know, like, I have a fear of flying. I hate it. I will probably title this Fear of Flying or something. I'll leave, like, links down below. You guys can comment. Please be nice about it. If you guys have the same fear, or if you guys, like, have any suggestions how to conquer it, don't say go fly again, because I don't really want to do that right now. Just be nice about it, and I'll leave all my links below. You guys can email me personally if you don't want to leave comments, or you can tweet me, or, you know, whatever. But this is my vlog or story for the day, so I'll see you guys all later, and have an awesome day. Bye.